starting. Now you're ready.
Hi. I had a lot of messages from other people and asking me about donors and IVF and everything. It doesn't matter if you're using a donor, you need to protect yourself. You need to have a contract with your doctor or clinic and drawn up by a lawyer. You need the lawyer to guide the doctor into what he's doing and make your doctor responsible. See, my doctor sold my embryos during the course of when I was getting pregnant. He divided my cycle. And doctors are not doctors anymore. Doctors are businessmen. And businessmen care about money. And if you're using a donor, you're talking $30,000 to $40,000 cycles. And it doesn't matter how many eggs are retrieved because you don't know. They tell you, okay, it's 18 eggs, and out of 18 eggs that 4 fertilized or 8 fertilized. And, oh, they destroyed this. It's not true. My doctor lied to me. He divided my cycle up. He told me that 8 fertilized out of 18 and he had to destroy 4. He didn't. He sold it to another couple. She didn't get pregnant during that cycle. I got pregnant right away with the embryo that was transferred. And that created my son Zane. I went back to get pregnant again. So did the other woman. He divided up the 3 embryos that I paid for and froze. He lied, he manipulated the cycle because he wanted to make money. So I'm telling everybody, get a lawyer involved in your contract. Make sure that if the doctor is manipulating your cycle, that he has consequences to pay for. Right now, my doctor in 2018 December prepared 2 women for 1 embryo. I'm going to release the nurse's name, her first name. I can't say her last name. It's Bonnie J. She ran out of the room with my embryo here in Montreal. I did meet her at Vendôme Metro when I was holding my 2 kids. She ran away. She looked me dead in the eye. Let me tell you, Bonnie, you're going to pay. And I don't care how you pay. What you did was wrong. And you steal from your clients. And you know what? If you want to use a donor, you can go to an ovum clinic that you can choose specifications on donors, on anything, and history. You don't have to get frozen embryos shipped to your clinic. You can have a donor go directly to the clinic and have a retrieval done. But make sure a lawyer is involved. Make sure that your doctor is trustworthy. Because let me tell you, they're businessmen. Like all businessmen, they care about money. Make sure that he does not destroy any of your eggs, any of your embryos. That is not to be discarded, is to be frozen. Let me tell you, the last cycle I had for my daughter, he goes only 4 fertilized and they weren't well. And he goes, I'm going to transfer 2. And I go, I'm going to sue your ass. You know that. Because he did it to me again. And you know what? I did get pregnant. And it couldn't be graded. And he transferred 2 embryos. Okay. This is Olivia. This is the little girl that came out of an embryo that could not be graded. that would have been discarded in the garbage. See, that's what happens with doctors. They're businessmen. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. They care about making money. See, that embryo, if I had to have other embryos and that, he would say, oh, they're garbage and that's it, to be discarded. Let me tell you, freeze everything. Doesn't matter what it is. You're paying $1,000 for the freezing. Let me tell you, you can get pregnant. And you know what? When I was a nut when I was trying to get pregnant, let me tell you. I took my prenatal vitamins. I took an extra folic acid. And there was when you start doing the IVF treatment and all that, leading up to it, when you start taking your progesterone shots, that's when you're supposed to start taking like extra nutrients. Like I did a smoothie with a pineapple core, and it's supposed to be something in the pineapple core that helps with the uterus and everything. And trust me, I get pregnant right away. And like, I'm not ashamed to say that I'm an older mother. I got pregnant at 53 with my son when doctors said it was impossible. It would never happen. Surprise! First transfer, I got pregnant. When my cycles were manipulated, I didn't get pregnant. Let me tell you, because my embryos were being sold. See, 2 people paid the price, and they got fired for telling me the truth. And I met that woman in November of 2018. She was on her 5th try with my embryos. You see, instead of the snake, I'm not going to call him a doctor because he's not a doctor, he's a snake. That he said, you know, that what that woman said to me was the truth. That he expected me to get pregnant. I didn't get pregnant, neither did she. And the embryo in December, Bonnie was the one who ran out of the room. Bonnie J. And let me tell you, I just received a letter from McCarthy Tetrol. They ended up wanting me to release the clinic and the doctor and that nurse of all responsibility. Hell no! Hell has a warm place for these people. Right now, the police are supposed to be investigating. Lieutenant, what's her name there?
What?
The Lozo, Nancy Lozo.
That's the Sergeant Detective.
Sergeant Detective Nancy Lozo of the Montreal Police Department is supposed to be doing an investigation and then handing it over to the prosecutor's office. I'm in contact with Premier Legault's office because I live in Quebec. I'm under French law. On Friday, I got an answer machine, but they transferred over the information to the cabinet minister. The cabinet minister is supposed to also be looking into this. Right now, I will never stop fighting. It doesn't matter how you create your embryos. They're your property. Under the law, it's your property. But my question is, when you create embryos, who do you create them for? Do you create them for yourself? Or do you create them for another couple? See, doctors think that they can use your property. You know? And no, it is not their property. It's yours. You pay your medication. You pay for the retrieval. You pay for the freezing. You pay for the transfer. You pay for the medication. You pay for everything. Whose property does it belong to when you're paying for everything? My doctor thinks that he can do whatever he wants, that he doesn't need parental separation. But under law, Canadian and Quebec, once ovum is fertilized, you need a parental separation contract that is drawn up with a lawyer. I'd never release my parental responsibilities. This woman has my son. And no, I will never go away. I will never stop fighting for what's mine. And that's why I need every woman to call Premier Legault's office and demand justice. Call the police department, Detective Lozo's office. Demand justice. Demand law that protects property. See, yes, your property that goes into a baby is property under the law. My friend just recently asked me, isn't that human trafficking? That doctors are selling embryos? That turns into a baby. A baby was just trafficked. Yes, it is human trafficking. And that's why we need laws. Because donors are being taken advantage of because they think because they give up their parental rights to that one couple that the doctor has a right to take your property and to give it to someone else. I should stop saying give because it's not giving, it's selling. One embryo is being sold for $5,000 to $10,000. And you know what? No. I never agreed to have another full genetic sibling to my son out there. This is my little girl. They're half siblings. And you know what? I love my little girl. I had to do another retrieval for her. $32,000 again. With the same asshole. And he did it to me again. But I did get pregnant. But you know what? I don't regret anything I've done. I just regret the people that I was involved with. And you know what? I never got an apology out of the doctor. I never said, he goes, see, I told you you would get pregnant. Yeah, because you transferred 2 embryos and you're lucky that one wanted to survive. But that doesn't mean I let you off the hook. You see, I'm on TikTok and this one amazing girl, it goes, well, all my new subscribers and I asked them, is there anything I can do for you? I go, spread the word. What happened to me? Make change for women. Because you know what? I'm completed my family right now. And I don't want this to happen to another couple. That your doctor is going to be doing fake transfers with you. And you thinking that there's something wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. The doctor is not doing the transfer. Especially if it's a donor embryo. Because he thinks that he can steal it. See, let me tell you. I want law that will change law here in Canada and in the US. And you know what? It will happen. But see, my baby is almost 3 years old right now. Like he's like a little over 3.5. You see, he knows those people as mommy and daddy. By the time we go to court, he's going to be 5 or 6 years old. This kid's going to be really fucked up. You know, to know that he doesn't belong there, and then it's like the attachment and everything, and seeing his brother and sister and knowing, you know. See, I want my child. And you know what? This little boy has to be prepared for what's coming. See, ask yourself. They're your embryos. You created them for you. If you find out through DNA testing that this child is yours, would you want your baby? See, I ask myself over and over, and the answer is yes. I want my baby. And I'm not going to release anybody from any responsibility. You see, the longer this takes, the angrier I get. And I want justice. And I will reveal more names and everything. I will let everything come out. Because you know what? Truth is power. And you know what? When you have the truth, you don't need anything else. See, you need to understand what is happening right now. Infertile couples will buy embryos. And they're willing to pay any price. And right now, embryos are being shipped all around the world. There's agencies everywhere that are selling frozen ovum and frozen embryos. And you know what? Like the biggest ones are in the Ukraine and Spain. But the government had a moratorium on that for a while. And like right now, it's like I don't know if they lifted it. But there is other clinics that are in Florida that you can go to. And that it's closer to home. And you know what? It's easier dealing with a person. If you have a reputable doctor, a doctor that is doing this for you, not for profit. See, I paid everything. I paid my retrievals, I paid for everything, I paid for my transfers. But that didn't matter how much money I paid. He wanted more money, and he brought in other couples into my cycle. I know of one baby right now, but when the truth comes out and DNA testing is going to be implemented and the court order comes down, how many children are out there that was created during my cycle? The truth is coming. So I'm telling you, if you know anybody doing IVF, go see a lawyer that deals in reproductive law. Draw up your contract and make sure your contract is ironclad. That if the clinic does something with your embryos, you could sue them and you will take your child. See, mistakes happen in IVF. Like, I'm not telling you that clinics are infallible, because there was recently a story on YouTube. A New York couple, Chinese couple, went in, wanted a baby. She got pregnant with twins. The twins, when they were delivered, they were white. And they belonged to two different families. She had to give up the babies to the couples. And they're on YouTube. So you can look up IVF and that mix up. Chinese woman gives birth to two white babies. And you know what? She wanted to keep the babies because she delivered them. She wasn't allowed to. And New York has the same law as Quebec. So let me tell you, I am coming for my child. I never agreed to have a sibling out there. Especially when I was trying to get pregnant. I'm telling everybody my story. And I'm not going away. See, I'm getting the DNA testing. And I am going to be bringing this out. See, I don't care about the money. Like, I spent $100,000 on 3 cycles. The first doctor that I had failed the cycle on purpose. Did the retrieval too soon. And 4 embryos did fertilize, but they couldn't be graded, everything. And 1 was transferred. And I didn't get pregnant. But you know what? This doctor that I did go to, everybody knew he was a thief, a liar, a manipulator, wanted to do blood tests and sending it to the States, paying and that. One of the tests was actually for folic acid. And Gary, how much was that test? For
16,000?
Not 16,000.
Yeah.
No, it's 1,600. 1,600. 1,600. And what? Yeah. Wait, Olivia wants to see. And I went to, because I'm cheap and I don't like paying for things. I can tell you this right now. I went to Notre Dame Hospital. Well, I'm tight. I'm Irish. So Irish, Greek, and Italian mixed.
And Scotch.
and Scottish. Like, I'm tight. Let me tell you, I'm tight. And I don't give up my money easy. And let me tell you, I went to Notre Dame Hospital. I got it done. And it was for folic acid. English hospitals stopped doing that. And like I did my blood test at the super hospital. I got most of them done. And everything was fine. But let me tell you, he failed it on the cycle on purpose. I told him, like I told my kids, I do things once and only once. Lose it, have it stolen, break it, whatever, I don't give a fuck. Let me tell you, you will never see it again. My son, my older son, like I got him the iPhone when it first came out. He still has it. He takes care of his shit. My daughter, no. But she's learning. You know what? It's like, take care of your stuff. Take care of what you have. And you know what? It's like, I went to this doctor, and a lot of my doctor friends do know him and say he's a really nice guy. Yeah, he's a nice guy because he has a nice smile, and he is a good liar. Let me tell you, I don't forgive him because he could have stopped Bonnie from running out of the room. And let me tell you, he didn't. He goes, Sharon, I was fast. Trust me, I've been with fast men. And you know when it's over. And let me tell you, there was no speculum. There was no nothing. No ultrasound. He lied. But I backtracked it with an email. And he goes, nurses are not supposed to touch the embryo tube. And I sent an email back to him saying, why did she touch the embryo tube? You see, the other nurse...
And he never responded back.
He didn't respond back. But the other nurse, when I came in to do the blood test, just in case, she was upset because that other woman already came in, did her blood test, and she was pregnant with my embryo. She goes, this should have never happened. The nurse was right. It should have never happened. And the secretary told me, confront the doctor. I did. You know what his response was? I'll do an endometrial biopsy, see if you're having enough progesterone in the uterine lining. I did it. $189 test. It was normal. Instead of telling me there was no embryos left, he did another fake transfer in March. No, not in March, in February. And then I didn't get pregnant, and I wanted to see him. He didn't want to see me. I had a meeting with him in March, and I confronted him, and I told him I'm getting a lawyer. And, you know, and I brought up about all of the things that were happening in the clinic that was creepy. And he goes, I can't talk about other patients. I go, let's say hypothetically. You know, DNA testing does not lie. He goes, where are you going to get the DNA from? I go, are you fucking for real? Are you serious? He goes, yes. Oh, confident, sitting in his chair. I go, do you see the little blob sitting in the carriage there? I go, we made him, right? And he goes, yes. I go, that's called DNA. He turned pale, and he admitted the whole truth. That this is a miracle baby for that woman. She was never supposed to get pregnant with and he goes, I guess I owe you some money. And he laughed and walked out of the room. Listen, I'm not stupid. I never brought up money with him. I never thought. I waited for him. If he had to give me money and pay for the cycle, I can never come back on him because it could be considered a done deal. See, I am coming after him. And I'm going to ruin his reputation. I'm going to ruin his clinic. I'm going to make him pay for what he did to me. I will never forgive him. You want to know why? Because he has ample time to throw Bonnie under the bus. And he's refusing to do that because he relies on her to steal from other couples who have donors and other clients that are naive. So you know what? If you want to continue stealing from couples, the law is coming after you. And I said it. Look at my YouTube channel. It's the dark side of IVF under Sharon Linus. Look at it. And I gave him ample time to tell the truth before the DNA testing. And I would forgive him. But I will not forgive Bonnie. So you know what? He had plenty of time. The truth will set you free. And that's all I'm asking for. And if he can't do that for me, then the government is going to do it for me. Because I am not stopping. Like, I reached out to Avery Haynes. And she goes, this happened in Toronto with an IVF doctor using his own semen. And she goes, I'll talk about it with her colleagues. And right now they're waiting for the DNA testing before doing the story. I am reaching out to other reporters and everybody. The dark side of IVF, when doctors are corrupt and stealing embryos and eggs. Recently on YouTube, there was a doctor that was arrested in Mexico because he's being brought back to justice. It's happening. And that's why it needs to be a database. A database that protects our embryos against thieves. Listen, there's nothing wrong with having a donor. But do it the right way. Get your parental separation from the donor. And that's what you need. If you're getting ovum, you need a parental right separation. That it's your baby, where no one can come back and take that baby from you. Just because you give birth to the baby doesn't mean it's yours. You need parental separation. And if you have donated embryos, you need to do an adoption process with a lawyer that you're adopting that embryo. Look at on YouTube, Caleb and Ayla. They went through hell trying to have a baby. And a wonderful couple in Vancouver donated their embryos. And right now they have 2 beautiful little girls that are from embryo donation. They have their parental rights separation. They are the legal parents of those children, and they know who the genetic parents are. They were done having their family. They didn't want to destroy those beautiful little children. So they gave it to a couple that they fell in love with, that they trusted to raise their children, and see them growing up on YouTube, watching YouTube videos of seeing a beautiful family doing what families do. But see, there is a dark side of IVF. And a lot of corruption. And I know an embryologist. I'm not going to say which clinic, but she goes that when embryos and eggs were coming in from Spain, couples are only guaranteed a certain amount of eggs. It's 8 to 12. Sometimes there was a lot more that came in. They were only given 8. And that was it, at $18,000. And then they took the other ones there and they just put it on the side until they had more eggs to come in, and then they mix it and then they give it in with 2 different donors. See, you don't know if you're going to have a full genetic sibling with the batch. See, you just want a baby. And they just want your money. That's why I say if you're using donor, there need to be a donor base saying where the genetic material comes from. have it registered where there's no more black market. See, people are always talking about mafia. But you know what? When you're involved with the mafia, you know what you're in bed with. You know what the deal is. And you know if you fuck up, there's consequences.
That's you. Yeah.
See, in the IVF industry, these are legal thieves. They get away with it because they wear a white coat. And that they're supposed to be good people and helping people create families. But they're not. They are just legalized thieves that steal your children and say, I'll make it up to you. I guess I owe you money. Well, do you know what? I guess you do. But see, whatever money I get, I'm going to donate it to a woman's cause that helps women. Not hurt women, help them. See, I cannot take money that is considered blood money. The blood of my children. No. I will not accept that money. I will donate it to help women, to help children, create a better life. And you know what? See, I have 2 beautiful children that I had later in life. I was 53 when I got pregnant from my... 52 for my son. Had him at 53. Got pregnant. I had my daughter at 54. I had her at 55. And yes, it's my birthday coming up soon. December 11th.
Next Saturday.
This Saturday. Like, I don't look forward to birthdays. It's just like, you know. But you know what? I don't look my age. I don't act my age. And trust me, right now, the one birthday gift that I would love to have is my son. And I'm coming for him. And I'm not stopping. There will be a new law in place to protect women and children. We need reform. But if you're doing IVF, protect yourself. Get a lawyer involved. Draw up the contract with the clinic. And if the doctor refuses to sign it, you know he's a shady bastard. There are a lot of good doctors out there that don't do this. But you know what? A lot of people have to be aware. You see, I was in Facebook jail like 4 times. And for telling the truth, my life. Last Saturday, we just came in from shopping. And Gary goes, look, you were in Facebook jail, but look at these people. They were having sex. YouTube Live, having sex.
Not YouTube, Facebook.
Facebook. Having sex.
Live
on Facebook. And, you know, come on. Like, you know, Facebook Live, eh? And having sex. And you know what? But that's okay. But when I'm telling the truth about liars, manipulators, and stealing embryos, I get blocked. Facebook jail, how many times? 4. I'm going for my 5th. But see, I'm going to be opening up an Instagram account and going on other forums. But it's hard. You know, it's like I have 2 babies under the age of 3. Well, actually, my son's going to be 4 January 5th. My daughter's going to be 2 at January 31st. And it's hard dealing with everything and going to doctor's appointments. And my son just recently started speech therapy. But he's doing okay. He's been singing, and I posted him on YouTube on the bus singing the days of the week. He didn't know I was filming him. And he starts off really quiet and then works his way up. And then starts screaming it. That's my boy. And you know what? Like, I post some pictures of my kids. And then people go, why are you posting your children? I go, why? Because it puts a face to the story. Because a lot of people didn't believe me at first. They said, nah, those are your grandkids. You're just playing a joke. I'm not joking. Let me tell you. And I'm getting a lot of guys on Facebook and that, hitting and want to hookups and everything. See, I'm only on here for one reason and one reason only. To put my word out. To say what has happened to me, what I'm going through. And that's it. I'm not interested in relationships. I'm not interested in anything. I'm only interested in my children. See, I'm a very, very quiet person. I keep to myself. I mind my own business. I don't care what other people do. See, where I grew up, like if you scuff someone's shoes, they got a beating. You stole from somebody, you got a beating or you were dead. See, I know a lot of people, and a lot of my friends, they're either dead or they're in jail or they're out hustling. See, like I said on YouTube, it's cheaper to hire someone to take care of business than it is to go legal. But right now I'm going legal. I'm doing the right thing. See, $100,000 is a lot of money. And where I come from, trust me, you'll be dead. There's one guy I knew, and he owed money for drugs. And he was murdered. He was wrapped up in a tarp and stuffed down a chimney. And he was there for years. And then finally when the chimney got blocked up with soot and everything, they found him. And let me tell you, the people who did it to him were never found. See, I know a lot of people that live on the edge and make their money on the edge. And right now, I am doing things the right way. Because I don't want to have my hands dirty. Because I never hurt anybody. I never steal from anybody. I always try to do the right thing. And right now, Detective Lozon, you have to get off your ass. You have to do the right thing. You have to investigate. The truth is waiting for you. You can't just sit back and drink your coffee and expect women to give up their children. It's not okay. I'm angry. I'm frustrated. I'm disgusted. And right now, I want you to do your job. Because the Premier's office is already involved. They did send it out to the cabinet minister. See, I don't know what they're doing because, I'm blogging on Facebook and YouTube and, I'm being very transparent about everything. Just recently, my next door neighbor set up to have his car stolen. And stupid Gary always wants to do the right thing. He looked in the bag and he goes, oh, my tenant left his groceries there, a bag of carrots. Oh, I'm going to put it in the hallway for him. I go, leave it. I have a bad feeling. Leave it. Did he listen to me? No. 8:30 in the morning. Bang, bang, bang. Who is it? Police. I got to the door. I'm still in my underwear. And they said, your next door neighbor had their car stolen. Someone was seen coming into this building and I picked up a bag. And I go on the side. And she goes, what side? On the side where the driveway is. Put on my house coat. And I show her the bag of carrots. I go, this is it. I go, it's Gary. And then Gary was coming out with the dogs. And yeah, it's carrots. And then I go, I have security system all around my house. I have it. And I posted some of it on YouTube. Not on, YouTube. and help people try to get away with shit. He left with the guys. You know, he had it hooked up. And I did see the two guys later. The guy with the orange jacket and the other guy going into the house over. It's a little gangbanger. See, people always try to make money on people. And you know what? Just don't involve my house in your shit, and I won't post it. See? When you touch my money, you touch my kids, and you have me down your back. I do not forgive.
No.
See, my saying is, what comes around goes around. And things have to come out. Everybody needs to be aware of the dark side. See, everybody deserves to have a family. And sometimes God is not always giving to everybody. And some people have to fight to have a family harder than others. Some people, you look at them and they're pregnant. Some people get pregnant really fast and say, no, bam. And some people just struggle and it can't happen. And you do need a donor. And there's nothing wrong with it. What's wrong is when the doctor steals your property and sells it to another woman without your knowledge, without your consent. That's what's wrong. See, protect yourself. And right now I'm trying to protect everybody by letting them know what happened to me. And I am posting my children's faces because even though my son and my daughter are half siblings, they look alike. And my two sons are full genetic siblings. So his face will match my son's face. And I have him on YouTube. Everybody that looks at my videos will see my son. And if people that know that couple, they go, that little boy on YouTube, they look alike. They could be brothers. I wonder how. Let me tell you. Everything's gonna come out in the wash. So you know what? If you know someone doing IVF, protect yourself. Bring in a lawyer to draw up your contract with your clinic. Make sure that there's consequences. Because right now, you don't want to be in my shoes. Because like that couple, the husband was a dick. He mistreated his wife in front of me. And I'm wondering if he's doing the same thing to my son. This is not his blood. And you know what? I just pray that they are taking good care of him and nothing bad is happening. Because if they couldn't pass a home study to get this done, then who knows what's happening. So you know what?
That's for you.
Like I say, reach out to the Premier Legault's office, reach out to the police, and say, what are you doing? Protect people doing IVF. And you know what? I hope that things will be coming out very soon. And you know what? We need to protect ourselves. And you know, especially when you go to private clinics, because no one is overseeing them. That's why I say the government should take over IVF clinics, know what's going on, know everything. Just like the hospitals. They should own the IVF clinics. It should not be private. So, you know what? Gary took away her cookies.
She keeps knocking them over on the floor.
Livia, say bye-bye. Say bye-bye, Livy.
Say bye-bye.
Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
This is the reason why we need law. We need to protect the children. Protect these sweet little children. Say bye-bye. All right, bye.
We finish at the on the side there. On the
So-
side,
Yeah, I know, right here, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So, like I say, reach out to the politicians, reach out to the police, reach out and protect your friends and your family. Because you know what? They don't deserve to be hurt the way I'm hurt. So take care of one another, love one another. And we're stronger together.